All right, y'all. We are back in the building with the Jamie and the Erana Tyler. I gotta tell
Hello.
y'all, you know, obviously, Erana, everybody compliments you about how beautiful you are. And Jamie,
Oh,
you are
thank you.
my style icon. You already know that. Um,
Thank you.
so I want to thank y'all for taking the time out to do this today. But we gotta, of course, get into some love and marriage DC stuff. Okay. And we already
Okay.
talked to Jamie just a little bit, but it's some things that I feel like I need to get your perspective on that you had to kind of go through with him. And one of those things I want to start this conversation off with is what were your thoughts about Jamie and Lil Jamie and watching them go to therapy? Because we didn't really see your reaction to the therapy session because you weren't in it. How did you feel watching that?
Just seeing them two together, like no one wants to see their son and husband argue or fight, and I felt really bad to see that even happen, especially at Jason's party with a lot of close friends and family around and just being aired on TV. They've been going through their issues for quite some time since Lil Jamie has been a teenager. And before we started filming, because that was like our first day of filming. And before we started filming, I knew Jamie and Lil Jamie was not in a good place. Actually, Lil Jamie wasn't even living with us before we started filming. We only told him to come back home because we were going to start filming. So I knew in the back of my head, I knew that it was going to be some issues at Jason's party because they were not in a good place at that time. But I just didn't think that it was going to happen. I thought because we were filming and that the family and friends were there and the occasion that we were, celebrating, they wouldn't do that. But when it happened, I felt bad for Lil Jamie. He was very emotional. He wasn't really understanding where Jamie was coming from. I understand both sides. I know Lil Jamie is he's really grasping for attention from his dad, and
Mm,
because they were in that place where they wasn't speaking and just putting me in the middle of most of the things because he would send me text messages to say, can you ask dad, can I do this, or can you ask dad a question? And I'm like, why you don't reach out to your father? Because they wasn't talking, they were talking through me, and it put me in an awkward position because I'm like, I don't want to see my husband and my son not having a relationship that I want them to have. And I just felt really sad, really emotional. I was just heartbroken, to tell you the truth. I just didn't like them in that space. And it was difficult to watch. I'm telling you, it was very difficult. It was difficult in real life, having to experience what they were going through at that time. I'm just so glad that they were able to seek therapy. Um, that was perfect. I was hoping that I would be involved in the therapy as well because I know you did suggest that. However, I have not been in therapy with them, but I know Jamie wanted me to come with them. That was something he suggested. But I think the real issue was Jamie and Lil Jamie. I wanted them to actually go to therapy together to resolve anything that they had going on. And then at some point, we could come in at therapy and attend therapy together as a family.
okay. Okay. I think it was actually awesome seeing just the two men in therapy
Yeah,
because we
absolutely.
never see that on television.
Mm-hmm.
So, not to exclude you from it, but from the viewer perspective, it was just nice to see. But I think it would also be nice to see you in that therapy session maybe later on, because I feel
Right.
like your opinion and how you have had to process this is important too.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Jamie, did you tell her what happened during the therapy session? Or did you just kind of kind of like tell her it was resolved? Like how did you communicate that with her when you got back?
To be honest, I think I left it in the therapy. Like
Mm,
him and I did it, and we had a plan of homework and things to work forward. And I felt like, I mean, they kind of made it like it was me, like it was all me, and I'm not sensitive to his mental health. So I felt like I needed to be the one to the show that I am and go to this process of fixing our relationship.
I'm glad that you mentioned that. Every time I see y'all on the screen on a double date with the Silvers,
right,
you, Jamie, for the most part, are getting chastised. And I'm like, I don't know if y'all need to go on any more double dates because you about to be the victim every time. Erana, what were your thoughts when they mentioned that they thought that he had a problem with drinking?
And see, I did not like that. Now, Jamie, I would say I probably drink more than Jamie.
Okay.
And so do my castmates.
Yeah, and the castmates as well. I think we all outside of Jamie may drink more than Jamie. So I did not like them labeling Jamie as an alcoholic or a person who drinks all the time. He's not that way at all.
At all.
So the fact that Ashley brought it up, and Ashley knew that Jamie did not have a lot of drinks at my wig launch. You know, Jamie probably had 1 or 2 drinks and he wasn't even drunk at the wig launch. So for her to say, oh, Jamie's been drinking again, here we go. You know, he's just saying anything out his mouth. Ashley knew for a fact that Ashley probably had more drinks than anybody.
In every scene she does.
Yeah, so I don't like that. And a lot of our family and friends and the audience, they did not like that somebody is labeling you as an alcoholic, like you're drinking all the time. And that's not Jamie. That's not Jamie at all.
Let me say this, Richie. I know alcoholics, and I know some that have actually drunk rubbing alcohol just to get something in their system. Like, that's an alcoholic. If I'm out at an event, a birthday party to be exact, and we're having a good time celebrating somebody's birthday, why are we bringing up my family and all these intimate conversations hours later when everybody has been drinking?
I think it's because you're so direct, and you do raise your voice when you're speaking, but that's just how you are.
Yeah, I do it.
That's just him. And people are just saying, "Oh, Jamie's drunk," but no, he's like that all the time. Jamie's gonna get loud. He's gonna be direct. He's gonna speak his mind, and because he's doing that, doesn't mean he's drunk or he's been drinking. You know, that's just him on water. You know, he has no problem letting you know how he feels or telling it like it is. Drinking water or drinking vodka. Like, he was not drunk. He's not drunk when he's doing these things. This is just him.
I read a quote after our interview, Jamie, and somebody in the comments said, I don't think that Jamie has a drinking problem. I think that Jamie has problems when he drinks. Would you say that that is true or false?
I would say it can be true and it can be false, because I can be the funnest person in the room. I can go to sleep if I've been drinking. And that's normally what I do. I just go to sleep. And if I'm confronted on a uncomfortable conversation during a time I've been drinking, yeah, you're going to get what you're going to get. You're going to get a response that you probably won't like. And because my life is magnified on millions of people's TVs, everybody can judge a 30-second conversation I'm having after I had a few drinks. But if you know me in real life and have known me my whole entire adult life, I'm normally the silly one acting a fool, making everybody laugh when we're out having drinks or at a party or at a whatever, a restaurant.
So I got a question about, because you guys work together very well, based on not only TikTok, but what we see on the show. So when it comes time for you guys to work on things separately, and I've noticed this in the comments as well, so I want you guys to address this. Erana, when you do your separate things, do you feel like it is a problem or it takes away from the things that you guys do together, i.e., like the TikToks and the things that, you know, also bring in residuals and income and stuff like that. What is your take on that?
So yes, so Jamie made a lot of money. Well, I'm gonna say we did. We made a lot of money doing TikToks and Reels. It slowed down because of business. I started adding more things on my plate, including the wig launch. So my focus switched from helping him with the Reels and the TikToks to really handling multiple businesses and the new business. I know Jamie is very passionate about his TikToks and his Reels. Jamie's retired now, so he doesn't have much to do. I mean, you don't have much to do, but that money that he was pulling in from Reels and TikTok, that was a lot of money.
Right.
And I understand, you know, when you're now retired and you're on a fixed income, Jamie got other things going on with the party promotions. He got the weekly Friday nights, but that real money was looking real good every single month.
Right.
And I could understand his frustration because he wants that back. You know, the money started slowing down because I started focusing on other things. So I get where he's coming from, but at the same time, I can't burn myself out trying to do what I need to do as far as my business is, and then trying to help him with the Reels and TikToks. I mean, we've talked about it throughout scenes, throughout the season, and I'm trying to meet him in the middle, where I'm just gonna have to maybe schedule my day out. Like, okay, I can do maybe an hour within my day, not every day, but I can meet you in the middle and we can kind of agree on him taking more lead on creating the TikToks. Like, if you could just find the TikToks that we need to do, put everything out there and just tell me, okay, at 1 o'clock, this is what I need you to do. This is what I need you to say. This is what I need you to put on. That would help a lot. But just trying to like come up with ideas, both of us trying, it's just too much. I don't have that much time on my hands. But I do understand where he's coming from, because that was we were bringing in a lot of money with TikToks, but at the same time, I mean, I got things on my own that I'm working on as well. And I'm not done. Like, my mind is still flowing with ideas on businesses that I could do, Erana Tyler. But I don't want to leave him out, because you see how he feel. Like, oh, you're neglecting me. And I feel like you're just, we're not doing things together as much. But I mean, that comes with being a boss and an entrepreneur. Like, we're constantly just thinking of ideas and businesses all the time.
And Richie, let me piggyback. And this is the reason why I'm passionate, because you've seen our work, obviously. The Reels tend to go more viral when she's in them. Yes, I can do 10 a day by myself, but our niche was the funny couple that folks at Real Couple Relationship. Those are the ones that went viral. So, and they take a lot of time. You got, if it's a voiceover, we try to get it perfect. If it's us creating this couple fun, I need her, obviously, because those are the ones that go viral. And so that's kind of what my path, but I do understand it's time consuming. She has to be her face, hair.
Makeup, I gotta look presentable at all times. And when I'm really like juggling businesses and just running errands and stuff, I don't look like that. Like, I got baseball cap on, I'm just running around, So when it's time to do content creating, it's like I gotta put my makeup on, make sure my hair is presentable, So it just takes a lot out of me.
Okay, so I want you guys both to answer this question, because it has definitely come up. It came up, I believe, when I talked to Carlos. It's come up in the comment section, and I believe it'll probably come up at the reunion. At least if I was making the questions, it would come up. So it was a moment in one of the episodes when, Jamie, you said something to the effect that about being, I was with you, or something, when you were nobody.
Nobody.
Talk to me about that and how you guys resolve that conversation.
All right, so we in a wig store. I mean, not wig store. We're in the sex store. And we're having the back and forth. And she made a little smirk on her face and said, "Are you jealous? You're not jealous of me, are you?" Or I was acting jealous, something to that effect. And Raina knows I have a smart mouth. She married a guy with a smart mouth, sarcastic, all that. And she knows if she says something to poke at me, I'm going to get smart back. And I'm gonna probably try to go a little deeper than what she did. And then she gonna come back a little deeper than I did. That's what we do. Good, bad, or ugly, that's how we do. So when I heard jealous, my brain did like, no, she didn't. And the first thing I could think of is like, you saw us? I said, jealous, girl, stop playing with me. And I was like, I was with you before you was nobody. So, but I was being a smart ass. But when you're on millions of people's TV screens, they gonna focus on one word and make it this big. Let me just set the record straight. I married the baddest bee in Washington, D.C. Hands down, always has been. I met her 30 years ago. She was the baddest 19-year-old in D.C. at that time. And I stand on it, and it's not up for debate. So I know who I married. She's always been that bee. All right, so that's that. When I said that, I was being smart. I don't have a filter on when the camera's on, as you know. So I just took a jab at her to poke at her, but never would I ever mean my wife was nobody. She's been a fashion icon since she's been able to dress herself. Once she got into the entrepreneur space, her whole world just opened up. So no, she's always been somebody.
We actually, after that scene, Richie, we had a conversation in the car. And I said, oh, you know you're going to catch flack for it. You know, people are going to say something because you called me a nobody. He was like, no, I didn't say it like that. I said, I don't care. You said I was a nobody. I said, and they're going to run with that. We kept going back, like literally all the way home, we talked about him saying, calling me a nobody.
And to piggyback off that, when I said I didn't remember saying that, and my castmates like to say it's because I've been drinking. Number one, I wasn't drinking in the store. Number two, when I say I don't remember that, it's because I gave it no thought, no attention. I didn't focus on it. And even like she just said, going home, she was like, you know you called me. I said, no, I didn't. She said, yes, you did. I said, I know I didn't say you ain't nobody. If I'd have said
back and forth the entire night.
If I would have said you ain't nobody, I would have remembered that. But when I'm being smart, I was just like, girl, you ain't nobody. Stop playing with me. That's how I talk. And then that's why I was like, I didn't say that. And that's why I was telling them, I don't even remember saying it. So I'm like, I can't wait to see it because I don't remember. But she's like, you did. I said, but I know I didn't say it disrespectful. I was being a smart ass. And you know it. That's why she didn't say, what you mean I ain't nobody? We were poking fun at each other. And that's our relationship. And if you don't know our relationship, then, you know, you're going to see something and run with it.
I'm going to need On and Kingdom Reign and Carlos to put a little dash cam in y'all car because it seemed like the real convos be going down after y'all done finished. I need those conversations because I feel like they be lit too.
From the sun up to sundown.
Okay, that's what we need.
Every day, all day is a TV show in this house.
You know what I also want to see? I'm fascinated by y'all's real estate journey too. So whoever's listening, can y'all please follow? I want to see more of that as you guys film in the next coming seasons. Mm-hmm. I gotta ask y'all about this. I want to know your perspective on it too, Jamie, because you weren't as involved in this part of the story as much as I think you were, Erana. But I gotta ask, the Joi and Clifton and the marriage. All right. Now I'm gonna ask you some real questions, and you can answer however you feel like you need to answer.
I'm gonna tell you the real.
Okay, tell me the real. Did you know that they were married?
Yes.
No.
He didn't. So when I found out, it was after the engagement on TV on Fox 5.
I remember that.
So when I text Joy. I said, "Oh, congratulations! Oh my God!" She was like, you know, what was it, that day or maybe 2 days after that? She said they had gotten married or they were getting married. Either they got married already or they were getting married. So she told me before we started filming, we're married, okay? But she said, don't tell anybody. And this was verbally over the phone. So I didn't get a text message like she did with Ashley when they were showing receipts the other day. It was verbally over the phone. She was telling me that they were married and keep it a secret and don't tell anybody. I didn't ask her why. When she told me don't say anything, I didn't share it with Jamie, and I tell him everything. That pillow talk is serious. Like I literally tell Jamie everything. When people normally say don't say nothing, I normally tell them. But this particular situation, I didn't, because that's serious to me. Like it's a reason why you don't want people to get married. I didn't know really the reason, but once she told me, I literally forgot. Like it just went in my ear and stayed there, lock and key, never came back out. So when we were at the fitness, the cycling class, me, Joy, and Ashley boarded up, I was still playing along because Joy didn't admit to it. So I'm like, well, my girl is still saying no. I still got her. I can't be like, well, yes, you are, Joy. I'm still going with the story she told me to stick with, that they're still engaged. So yes, I did know. And look, and another thing is the producer, Brent, when we got in the car, he got in my passenger seat and he was like, do you know anything about this? And I was still like, I don't know nothing. I was waiting for Joy to tell me it was okay to share that information because I felt that it was serious, like it was a reason for them to keep it a secret. I still don't know why, but I'm not going to share with somebody or the world on TV that somebody's married when they told me in confidence, don't share this information.
My assumption in that moment as I was watching, I said, there is no way Erana didn't know. And I said, Erana is being a ride or die right now, because that's what I would have done. No, legit. You told me not. It's people tell me stuff all the time. Y'all know I'm a unless you tell me to say it, I ain't saying nothing.
That's
I
what
don't
I
know.
said.
I don't care who.
I'm like,
somebody
what?
else said it.
For real?
Right, right.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about Ashley revealing it on camera?
So my thing is, okay, yes, we talk to our best friends. You know, I tell my best friend things too. I tell Jamie things, but you know when you're gonna share it with the world when the cameras are there. So you intentionally did it. You know the cameras are there. You telling your best friend on camera. You could tell her off camera. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you intentionally did it for the show to put it out there, put her business out there because you were mad at a phony and fake comment that she made at her house at a party. That's what she said. But my thing is, I could tell my best friend off camera and the secret would be safe between us. But when you start sharing personal information with the cameras around, you're doing it out of spite, like you doing it because you want it to be shared. And I felt like she betrayed her trust. But I'm looking at both sides because Jamie and I had a conversation and he was like, well, you didn't know a certain person long enough. Why are you sharing these deep conversations with them or personal secrets? Because they, you know, she haven't known Ashley that long. So for me, I would never share personal information with a person that I just met a year ago. I mean, I have girlfriends that I've known for 10 years that I still won't share personal information and what goes on with Jamie and our marriage. Any type of information like that, I just keep it to myself. I'm not sharing it because you never know what happened. These girls these days, they get into these little silly arguments, and next thing you know, they're sharing your business with everybody in the world. So Joy, I would say she was wrong for sharing that personal information with somebody she really didn't know, but she shared it with me too, and we didn't know each other. But I was just the one that didn't share the information. You know, I was the loyal friend. I wasn't the one that's going to spill out, you know, her personal information to a best friend.
I know we have the season finale coming up. Does this
Mid-season.
okay, the mid-season finale is coming up. Does this, and I know you can't give away too much, but you can give me a yes or a no. Does this trickle down into, because right now it's only the women that are dealing with it. Does this have a trickle down effect for the men?
Yes.
Okay. I was wondering, in my mind, there's no way that it couldn't to a certain degree. But I'm just now curious as to how how that
You
plays
will
out.
see. You will see soon.
Well, Richie, is a lot, okay? This mid-season finale, I'm sure you saw Carlos King's video, his review, and he was like, he watched it like, what, 10 times? And was like this, oh! He said it's the best mid-season finale he's ever seen. And it's a lot. It's a lot.
And Richie, guess who's in the middle of all this foolishness? Us.
Well, as you can see from the previews, you see me and Ashley getting into it.
I saw that, which was surprising as well, because you two, for at least from the very beginning of this series, have been very, very, very close. Do you feel like in that moment it was a moment of like, you know how sometimes you have a moment where you just mad at everything? Was it that type of moment? And I know you can't give me too much, but does it extend beyond the mid-season finale?
I don't want to say.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
that's going to give it away.
I can respect it.
Yeah,
I can respect
say.
that. Okay. Okay. Jamie, will we see more of you and Lil Jamie's progress moving forward? Because I think that, fans of the show are really, really interested in that. And I want to see where you guys end up. And I would also like to see Lil Jamie at his job. And I know he's working with you, so that may be a filming thing, but the idea that he was planning a clothing drive, just having started all of this, I want to see that. I want to see Brittany's man. I want to see, because you guys have the thing that I feel like makes you guys so special about on this show is you have a family unit that can also be tapped into. So will we get to see those added elements moving forward?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think the second half, which we're into now, covers a lot of the Tyler dynamic. And You're right. That's what I feel before this show and while we're in the show, that our family alone is must-see TV.
Okay.
Including Mama T. Mama T is the icing on the cake. She's hilarious.
And you're going to see a lot from Brittany too. Because Brittany, you haven't really seen like her story and what she has really going on in her personal life. So be ready for that too. The second half of the season.
And then my last question is, Erana, will we see more Bobs in the coming episodes?
Absolutely.
Because they be going crazy over these Bobs for whatever reason. Yes. And I'm like, that need to be your top seller on your website.
They made the Ray Bob go crazy. Okay, look, Carlos said that the Bob needs his own seat at the reunion. And I thank the ladies, I thank everyone for, Ray's Bob just all over social media, on the show. Like, thank you. We did really good in sales and we still are.
Okay. That's what's up. So at least Jamie, for what you are lacking with the TikToks, she is now making up for with these Bob sales. So there you go.
And Richie, I gotta toot my own horn. Ask her whose idea was it to do the wig collab.
Well, he said that like years ago. Probably like 2 or 3 years ago. And he was like, you and Kira, because I've known Kira for a long time. She's been doing my wigs for years. And he was like, because people always come to her and say, I want my hair like Raina's. I want it just like hers. And they'll show her pictures. He was like, you guys need to do something together. And then we thought of it. So I do give you credit for, you know, coming up with that idea. But he's always coming up with great ideas, you know, for the majority of my business.
And let me say this, Richie. Like, they can follow us for a certain amount of time, but this woman knows I have her back 1000%. She's a marketing machine. Just look at her. So I'm always trying to think of something, the next thing, like 5 years from now, that she could be getting into, and as well as both of us. But I really am big on helping her and the kids just be great. And I think about it all day long. All day long. That's why when she called me jealous, I was like, you wanted a smart recon, you got it. And that's why I gave it.
You're not jealous, are you?
Right. That's just what she said. That's why I was like, what? So yeah, I got tired of women asking me about who do her hair. So I said, look, you and Carrie need to do something together. Even clothes, she wears girls' dresses. And I'm like, y'all need to do a collab. Like, all these women buying her stuff. Get the Raina Tyler edition and eat off of it. She's a marketer.
I would actually agree with that, because I get a lot of comments, or I see a lot of comments about your wardrobe as well. So that may have to be like your next thing too. You know, just a little idea.
On my plate. Never get to these TikToks.
I'm just saying. I mean, you know, when the opportunities are there, you gotta right. you gotta take them. You gotta take them. Yeah. So, what I want to do next at some point is I need to talk to Lil Jamie. I need to talk to Brittany when things are coming back around. So please, let's make that happen. And y'all, please tell the people where they can find y'all.
So you can find me on Instagram, The Real Erana Tyler. I'm also on Twitter too. I'm not as active on Twitter, but I am Erana Tyler on Twitter. Pretty easy.
Okay.
Jamie_Tyler3 Instagram. Jamie Tyler_3 Twitter. Jamie and Erana Tyler TikTok, YouTube.
He gonna run to that list.
And IG.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
JJEntertainmentGroup.com, J&E Consultants, J&E Builders.
The Erana Tyler wig collection.
There you go.
Boom.
I was waiting for it. All right, listen, thank you guys so much for this interview. I appreciate it. We are about to wrap up this season with the mid-season finale of Love and Marriage DC. Y'all make sure to tune in this Saturday night, and we will catch you all in the next video.